Alrighty everyone, today I am going to make a start on this suspension upgrade on the Discovery. I was recently looking through some of my invoices from the Discovery from when I did the suspension build the first time. I found this invoice and it shows all the part numbers of the springs and the shocks that I bought back in 2015. Doing a bit more digging into the spring part numbers, and I found that the springs that I bought were not actually a 2-inch lift. The springs that I bought were DA402 and DA403. Looking on the internet online, I found that they were actually a 40mm lift, which works out about 1.5 inch. I always thought I had a 2-inch lift. Now that we have the tent up on the roof, the suspension at the back is sagging a little bit. So the Land Rover is actually sitting a bit like that. Higher at the front than it is at the back. But what I'm going to do to combat that is, I've very kindly been given these by Chris at Rattlex Industries. They were sat on his shelf going rusty, wasn't using them, so he said, take them, try them, see if you want to put them on, if not, fair enough. And I found a use for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 2-inch lift spacers. I've got all 4 of them, and I'm going to use the 2 inches on the back with the standard springs, and I've actually purchased some new springs. I've got these springs from Paddock Spares. They are a plus 25mm and they are lighter duty than the ones that I already have, because I found that on here the front springs that I bought were a heavy duty and 40mm, whereas the rear were just a medium duty and a 40mm, so it's heavier in the front for some reason. And I can tell you from experience from the past 7-8 years, it's very firm is the ride and you feel every bump. So this hopefully is going to soften the ride up a little bit. It's going to also level the car, because from the front we will have a 75mm lift, and on the rear we'll have a 90mm lift, which works out about 3 inches on the front and 3.5 on the back, which should level it out. Fingers crossed. I have also got the Rattlex shock turret to go on the other side. I never got round to fitting that. And the front dislocation cone. I have painted them all up in hammerite yellow. And over here, you might be able to see, I have the caster corrected front arms, which should also help with the vibrations and steering instability that I've experienced in the past. They are rated up to a 3-inch lift, which covers the 3-inch front lift that we've got, so we're alright that way. So yeah, and we've also got some shocks for the rear. I'm not too sure what these are like. They were also gifted to me by Chris at Rattlex. They're actually off his Defender. I'm not too sure if they're the same size as the ones that I've got on at the minute, but I know that one of my rear shock absorbers has failed and it's not doing anything now. It's just we've got a right springy ride. So I'm going to put them on, see what they're like. Eventually I will be upgrading to a heavy duty, like a big bore one, a +2, which should give us a bit more stability with all the weight on the roof. So that's the plan. The first job we're going to do today is get some WD-40 on all these nuts and bolts and start loosening it all off. Okay, so I'm going to have to leave the video here. All we've done is we've cleaned everything and WD-40'd everything. I've took the top nuts off the rear shock absorbers. I found that the right hand side rear is knackered. You push it down, it doesn't come back up, so that just shows that it is knackered and it wants replacing. I've just took the top ones off for now. It'll allow us to droop the axle down and put the spacers in, and then while it's down I will manipulate the bolts at the bottom. They're usually a bit tighter than the top ones because they get all the road dirt and all that kind of stuff, and they tend to seize on, so they're going to be a bit of a bugger to get off. I might have to cut them off. I'm not too bothered because I'll just get some new nuts and sort it out that way, but I'm going to do that afterwards. I've also took the top nuts off the front shockers, and I've started loosening some of the other bolts as well. Give them a squirt of WD-40 and we will carry on the suspension upgrade in the next video. Hope that you've enjoyed this and you're looking forward to seeing what it looks like when it's got a little bit more of a lift on it. I am. I think it's going to look quite good, and hopefully it should handle a bit better as well. As usual, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.